The Forest Beyond Time, Chapter 3, The Forgotten River. The eternal forest had always sung with water. Streams leapt over stones. Rivers bent and curved, carrying laughter through the trees. But now silence spread. A river that once roared with life was dry. Fish lay still in the mud, their scales dull. Frogs crouched on the banks, waiting, confused. The current had stopped. Isabel stood at the river's edge, her robe trailing in the dust. Her hand brushed the air where water once flowed. It felt empty, as though something had stolen the song itself. Rowan bent low, scooping cracked earth into his palm. The river's heart has closed. Something blocks it at its source. Piper hovered nearby, wings catching stray beams of morning light. The faint starlight still rested on her skin from the night before, and it brightened whenever she reached for the creatures around her. A sparrow landed on her shoulder, chirping quick and worried. "They say the fish cry in their sleep," Piper whispered. "We need to help them before sorrow spreads." The three set off upstream. The dry riverbed was rough beneath their feet, carved deep but hollow. Along the way they found turtles tucked inside their shells, deer nosing empty pools, dragonflies clinging to reeds that had wilted in the sun. Everywhere, silence. The absence of flow weighed heavy. Rowan spoke in his low, steady voice. "Water carries more than drink. It carries memory. When a river forgets, the forest itself falters." At last they reached the source, a hidden glade where water once spilled from a stone spring. Now a dam of dark roots bound the opening. They pulsed as though alive, twisting together like clenched fists. Isabel's eyes narrowed. This is no accident. The roots hold grief. Someone planted sorrow here. Piper touched the roots gently. They shivered, and a sigh escaped from them, soft as wind. "They're afraid," she said. "They don't remember how to let go." Isabel stepped forward. Her hands glowed faintly, her power reaching into plant and soil. But the roots resisted, clinging tight. Even her peace could not undo the knot of sadness. Rowan frowned, staff planted firm. "It will take more than strength. We need to remind the river how to flow." Piper closed her eyes. The last stars of dawn still lingered in her, faint and fragile. She lifted her arms and let sparks drift into the roots. The tiny lights rested like fireflies, coaxing rather than forcing. A low groan answered. The roots quivered. Beneath them, water stirred, pushing upward. But the sorrow still bound it, too heavy to break. Rowan knelt beside the roots, his voice kind. "You have clung too long. Let the water move. Let it carry your grief away." Isabel placed her hand over his. Nothing is lost when it flows. It only becomes part of something greater. The roots trembled, torn between fear and release. Piper whispered softly, almost singing, "The stars will guide you. Let go." At last, the roots loosened. One strand unwound, then another. A gush of water burst free, spilling over stone, rushing down into the riverbed. The forest answered with joy. Frogs leapt into the flow. Fish darted with silver quickness. Dragonflies whirred above the surface as reeds lifted their heads. The river sang again, carrying both sorrow and hope in its current. Isabel smiled faintly. Even grief has a place when it's allowed to move. Rowan dipped his hand into the water, nodding. Flowing sorrow becomes healing, still sorrow only decays. Piper splashed through the shallow edge, laughing as the starlight on her arms dimmed, spent. It was only borrowed, she said. The sky will lend me more tonight. The river carried their reflections as they walked home. 3 figures together, bound by forest and by stars. The eternal forest breathed with them, alive once more, and the song of the water promised it would not be forgotten again.